Shout out to Christy for putting the decks in Stream Decker so that I can view them like you. All right, we have Gruul stuff. There is Sarkin Unsealing. That card is sweet. It plague wins people. Big fan of plague winning people. When you play big stuff, there's a lot of big. Actually, a card I really think is cool is Elysian Caryatid here. So this is a 2-mana 1/1 that makes a mana of any color. And then if you have a creature with power 4 or greater, it makes 2 mana. So with this, you can go this on 2, anything on 3, and then you have 6 mana on turn 4, so you can play a Carnage Tyrant.
That's sweet. All right, let's head on down into our feature match area for our round 6. We're going to see this sweet Gruul deck. And what's Gruul playing against here?
Playing against the Jund Sacrifice deck we watched last round. Different player, but looks like a fairly similar list.
Okay.
This list is playing Cauldron Familiar Witch's Oven, which I do not believe Matthias was playing.
Yeah, it's actually quite a bit different, right? So, like, are there still Citadels in it?
Yes, there are 3 Citadels made, 1 on the board.
Okay.
There's a Jengatha. Could be a Colossopede when you need it most.
Okay. And we see here, one of those hands like we talked about a second ago that Nick was talking about a second ago, where we have the Caryatid on 2 into a 4-power thing on 3, and then you have a bunch of mana to follow up from there.
Yeah, unfortunately, JT is down here on 5, which is never great, but looks like they still have a functional start. This Quested Beast is still going to hit pretty hard.
So, Priest of Forgotten Gods on the top here from our Sacrifice player. This is easily one of the cards that makes the Sacrifice decks hum along. This is what's doing your sacrificing a lot of the time. This card is just a complete monster. It just takes over these creature-based games if your opponent can't take it off the table a lot of the time.
Yeah, but... Ooh, there it is. The Unsealing. So, Sarkin's Unsealing, if a creature with 4 power is cast after it, Sarkin's Unsealing deals 4 damage to any target. And then if a creature with 7 power is cast, deals 4 damage to every opponent's creature and planeswalker and them. So the combo is Sarkin's Unsealing plus Carnage Tyrant here.
Or what's Godzilla's actual name down there? Does anybody know?
Zilwortha, Strength Incarnate. Lethal damage to creatures you control is determined by their power rather than their toughness.
And notably, this is a 7-power creature for 5 mana, so you can curve Sarkin's Unsealing on turn 3 off of a mana dork into Godzilla King of the Monsters here on turn 4, and then sweep their board out.
And something interesting here is that a lot of the creatures actually have more power than toughness. So making Bone Crusher Giant a 4/4 or Steelers Champion a 5/5, that's actually a pretty big deal when it comes to getting over, certain creatures that can be coming up the board.
Sure, yeah, making sure you win in combat. And we see here Priest of the Forgotten Gods in combination with Mayhem Devil really showing some of its strength. So we're sacrificing Priest and Mayhem Devil, but we're getting cleared out fully on the green-red side of the board.
Yeah, the Sylvan Caryatids are not great into not Sylvan Caryatids. The Elysian Caryatids are not great into the Mayhem Devil.
Sylvan Caryatid, by contrast, would be fantastic.
It'd be very good into the Mayhem Devil.
Quite excellent. Okay, so we have Collected Company and Cat here on Charizard's side of the board. Notably, only 2 green sources, though, which means that the Scavenging Ooze cannot get out of Unsealing range this turn. So, a big draw step for JT on the bottom. If they hit an untapped land, they're going to get to sweep the other side of the board and have a 7/7 in play.
Yeah. Well, they will have the Coco, so they can
They'll have
the Coco and the Priest. Or wait, is Sarkin's Unsealing a cast trigger?
It is a cast trigger, yep.
Oh, okay. So you can't even respond by priesting the Godzilla.
Correct. Okay, so Rekindling Phoenix is still fine. It's a castable thing that triggers Sarkin's Unsealing. So I think you have to kill Scavenging Ooze here because you can't kill Scavenging Ooze next turn if they decide to eat things this turn.
People asking if Clothis works with Unsealing. It does not if it does not have Devotion, because if it does not have Devotion, it's not a creature. So it's just
Well,
an enchantment.
it's a cast trigger,
Oh, it's a
right?
cast trigger.
I don't know
Um,
then. Judge,
Judge.
can I get a
I need a judge.
I don't know
I
the
need
answer.
an adult.
I think the answer is yes. Because I'm pretty sure it's a creature in your hand, so it's a creature with stats on the stack, and it
All right,
doesn't
Twitch
lose
chat
those
says it
stats until it
works.
comes into play. Chat sounds confident it works, which means there's about a 50% chance that it works.
It either works or it doesn't. Oh, Twitch chat.
And if you're on so this works out really well. We see the priest activation end of turn, and then the scavenging ooze is going to get to eat the rekindling phoenix here, which is a big part of why I think you were supposed to kill the scavenging ooze with the Sarkhan's unsealing trigger.
Yeah, I think it might just start to spiral here. Like now, the Bone Crusher got this Mayhem Devil that I guess killing the
I
what is
mean,
it?
because the scavenging ooze didn't eat last turn, we have another window on JT's side
Right?
to draw land and cast Godzilla, and the collecting company's gone now, right? So like if you hit the land and you cast Godzilla, the Jund player is going to be super far behind.
I believe there's a win. There may be. Never mind. All right, so yeah, we're waiting for a land. Land is
I
doesn't
feel
have
like
haste.
I feel like I would have liked a chump block there with the token because the token's just gonna die to a Mayhem Devil trigger at some point anyway. So like we were given the opportunity to gain 3 to 4 with it, we probably should have taken it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because like I know there's like some incentive to like keep it in play to insulate against a priest making you sacrifice, but with Mayhem Devil that's not a thing.
Yeah, it doesn't even work. Decent chance that Priest is going to activate. Like, if you win, you're casting this Godzilla, right? And Priest are going to activate in response to that regardless,
Yep.
because it's just going to die anyway.
Does our Jund player have lethal here? I think they have lethal actually. So they sack the ooze and then they take 1, and the cat comes back and does 2, and then you sack Mayhem Devil and the cat to do 4, and then you have mana to stomp them with Bone Crusher Giant.
That sounds right.
Yeah. This is lethal because this is
So this is a
4,
very
5,
good.
6.
So
Yep.
this is how you block. Um,
This is yeah. If we blocked here, this isn't lethal, correct?
yeah,
We're
and
+3.
this is also a big reason why Arena is worse than Magic Online. Because I'd be slamming that draw a card button, slamming it to see if I would have hit.
Oh.
All right, so that's the, but it was also rolled a 5 from the Ghoul player's side. So like, eh.
And I mean, like, and that kind of shows some of the power level of this scroll deck too here, right? Like, you definitely shouldn't judge a deck by a single match that you see it on coverage. And they mulled to 5, and had they blocked that ooze, there's a chance that they end up winning that game anyways.
Yeah, it looks like the Gruul deck has a lot of ability to pivot up in this, and well, I mean, really any matchup. So it'll be interesting to see if they want to do that. If they think Storm's Wrath is good, if they think
Really love Gem Razor here out of the board from for our Circuit Unsealing player. Like, not only is giving trample huge, but it also wait, are they boarding into Wellspring as a companion when they cut Citadel? That's funny.
yes,
That's definitely what's happening. So we cut Citadel, and because we cut Citadel in the aggro matchup, we're just boarding it a 5/5. Love it.
Vernash asks, how does Mutate and Sarkin work? And the answer is no one knows.
Actually, we could look here. Mutate says as you cast this for its mutate cost, which means you are casting it as a 4 power creature. It's a creature spell when you mutate. I'm pretty sure that triggers unsealing.
It's probably, but Judge. All right, these hands are medium.
Yeah, so quick mulligan here from the Girl player, which I love. I expect we'll see a mulligan from our Jund player as well here. Not rewarded, unfortunately, as the Jund player. Girl player's happy with their 6 for sure. I'm probably going to see Jund go to 5. I guess you have the goose and could be greedy.
You have the like. It's so bad. If this goose gets stopped, all right, no fear.
No fear, Wide Eye Snap Keepstick. Don't be scared.
All right, all right,
Coward
all right. I'm eyes wide open. We're
cowards
ready for
can't
what happens.
block Warriors, Nick. All right, let's do it.
Worth noting that a coward would have blocked last game and won, but
That's true.
whatever.
That's true. A coward would have been better off. This goose was made for stomping, and that's just what we'll do. Do 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 do.
I think Bone Crusher Giant is one of my favorite, like recently printed cards.
Yeah, it's real. It's real sweet. I was talking rotations coming up for standard next month. We're gonna have 4 sets leave, and Eldraine's probably one of the more powerful sets left in it. And there's a lot of designs that people have complained about in Eldraine in general, but I really love the adventure mechanic. Honestly, if you had me list like my top 10 or top 5 Magic mechanics, I'm pretty sure it's close to the top. It feels like the sweetest flashback variation that they've printed.
Yeah, I agree. I think Brazen Borrower was just one of my favorite cards ever. Um, it's so much versatility in one card, but also like it feels really good to play with, right? You feel like it has a lot of power, but to your opponent, it doesn't feel like, oh my god, they played this, now I can never win.
Yep. Yeah, it really feels like the little details on Brazen Bar where they really got right. Like for example, it can't block non-flyers, it can't bounce your own things, and like those two little things really could have pushed it into like the overbearing or oppressive category when right now it's like, oh, this is a well-designed card that's powerful.
I'm into this. Just cast my this is Gem Razor, right?
Yep, that's Gem Razor.
All right, Gem Razor coming in as a 4. It's interesting that Gem Razor is called Gem Razor, but all of the other Godzilla cards are called by whatever Godzilla thing they represent.
The Armored Killer, man. It's the Armored Killer.
Armored. That's yeah.
And we see some awkwardness of Bone Crusher Giant here against Witch's Oven, where you don't get your adventure half if your target goes away. So this Woe Strider is going to get sacrificed to Oven.
I think this was actually a misplay for that reason. I think the better play is to hard cast the Bone Crusher Giant.
Oh, and target it.
And then
that's way better.
Yeah, you get the Sarkhan's Unsealing.
Yeah, bit of a misstep from our girl player here on the bottom for sure. I wasn't even thinking about that, and I think that's definitely what happened, right? Like you just like in your mind, these cards do one thing, and like it's hard to break yourself of that muscle memory.
Yep, for sure.
And we can see a Braid here really showing some of its power and its flexibility. It killed a Bone Crusher Giant earlier. It has the potential to take Grafdigger's Cage off the table now. The question is, can you survive long enough for that to be relevant?
It does not kill the Armored Killer, though.
Correct. The Armored Killer's got... He's pretty swole. He's got 4 toughness. Ain't no slouch.
He's a thickums. Yeah, so... It's a little awkward. The only thing you can double spell with is Scoos plus a Braid, but that's not a very powerful turn, even though it's mana efficient.
So you can Woe Strider Tower eat a food.
That's true.
Which I don't...
And you can block with
God.
The
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
So Carnage Tyrant...
It's so big.
Man, Ancient Tomb is a messed up land. Let me tell you, Nick.
Why are there so many Ancient Tombs? Why do both decks have an Ancient Tomb?
This is real non-rotating format, Dick. It's an Ancient Tomb mirror match.
Yeah, so not quite dead, because you can eat the food and go to 2. But
not anymore.
All right, or not.
Or not, All right, that's fine. We got game 3. I don't
think it would have mattered. I think Carlos Time was coming.
Correct.
Was coming for the boom.
That was I'm dead anyways. I'm just not going to click concede. I'm going to let them attack me. Or maybe we're reading. Maybe they didn't realize they were also taking 4. I think they might not have realized that there was a different trigger for 7 power there.
How could you not know the historic staple Sarkhan's Unsealing Fury?
Yeah. All right, so girl player Borden back in really, or happy with their setup. Our Jund player taking a look at it again and seeing what they have
Oh,
going
and
on.
Jund player's taking out everything that Cage hits. They took out all 4 Cocos and all 4 Citadels. What do you think about that?
What's up?
The Jund player took out all 4 Cocos and all 4 Citadels.
Huh. Well, I guess you
Cage
do, I guess you don't know company is out, but you know Citadel's out because they brought the companion in, right?
right. So the thing about that though is Cage still stops Culture Familiar, so it still is trading for cards, and we have these braids. So I'm unsure if I actually like boarding out the companies.
Okay.
But also maybe you just have to get under them because like getting plague winded is bad.
Okay. We have a very quick keep here from our Jund player, and I like it. We've got Cat into Priest into Woe Strider is a great curve that lets you activate Priest on 3 very elegantly.
Yep.
And we see no Bone Crusher Giant here, notably from our role player. So Priest is likely to live here and very likely to take over the game when it does.
Yep. The curve here is good for JT also. You have to go carry it on 2 and then steal it plus carry it on 3.
Yep. Well, I assume this Caryatid is about to die.
Yeah.
I assume we're going to see Woe Strider, sack Cat, sack 01.
Yeah. That seems good. But then there might not be. No, there should still be enough fuel to kill the Steel Leaf.
Yep. And I mean, like, if you don't kill the Caryatid, you don't get to.
Right, you can't. Yeah, so you'd have to be basically banking you draw exactly Mayhem Devil.
Okay, and a bit of a pretty big mistake here from Charizard. They elected to attack with the cat after showing their hand, so we got to trade in combat with the cat, so the priest activation doesn't happen now.
Yeah,
Although I guess
I like that.
I guess you keep the Woe Strider token though, so maybe it's not strictly awful. Okay, and here's Caryatid plus Land War Elves this turn, which sets JT up potentially for Carnage Tyrant on the following turn.
Right, and just insulates bigger threats from this priest activation, right? Where you could have just jammed Steel Leaf, but then you're sort of just throwing away your 5/4.
Correct, and like you're just hoping to fade Mayhem Devil here, and it looks like we did. So you're gonna have 5 mana next turn. Actually, you with the cast Garenberg, the Ancient Tomb in the mana base again, we get to cast Carnage Tyrant even after we lose this mana dork, right?
Carnage Tyrant is big,
Yep.
large. Gonna cast some more medium spells here. Get back the Cauldron Familiar with the food off the Gilded Goose. But it sort of feels like, I don't know. I think it's going to depend on if JT can get rid of this priest.
Yep. Okay. So we can Steel Leaf Champion and stop the priest this turn. And then Carnage Tyrant can maybe take over the game. We do lose the Bone Crusher Giant again because of the sacrifice from the Woe Strider, but that's fine, right? Like, we just need that thing off the table.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Steel Leaf Champion and Carnage Tyrant are going to close this game out real fast.
Yeah, and this is sort of what I was wondering about with taking out the Cocos, right? Like, Charizard has lost a lot of their ability to play the long game.
I don't know, like this 5/6, this 5/5 is not nothing, right? I guess like people complain about Carnage Tyrant because it's hexproof so much. It does just have stat lines you can block, right? So like,
yeah,
I guess we're kind of stabilized though, right? Like you can. That's a draw.
That's some damages.
Are we lethal? Not quite, because we can jump block. So we can eat the 5/5, and then we can jump a 3/2, and then we take 8. So I don't know that an attack with all is good. We do get to eat the Steel Leaf Champion and make some food, though, and then the cat starts bobbing back and forth while the board's gummed up, and that's really what the cat oven does well in these archetypes, right? Like, you gum the board up with blockers, and then while the board is stalemated, the cat goes in, out, and drains all their life.
Yep, and they don't have. There's no cage at this point. Even if you draw a cage, you're losing on board, so that's not.
Yep. Decided an attack all is worth it. The attack all gives up the 5/5, but it forces the 1/1 off the board, and it makes the cat lethal fairly quickly, so I don't hate this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is going to be 8/5. Going to deal 2 off the familiar to 3. Think they're coming to the same because you can't. When he not block. Oh, not blocking was bad.
Yeah. They're dead, right?
Not blocking was lethal bad.
Yep. I think they were probably dead regardless, but
Probably dead regardless, but remember, kids, math is for blockers, and this guy was blocking.
yep.
So he should have done the math.
Do the counting. All right, and that was actually so. We have a time shifted feature match, but I think we're just going to go ahead and take a very quick break because that was actually the last match of this round. So rather than hold up the tournament with a time shifted feature match, we're just going to roll right on into round 7 of the coverage, which is awesome because we've been live for 4 hours and 20 minutes. We're heading on into the 7th round of this Digital Magic tournament. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Today only, Cool Stuff Inc. is offering viewers of the Hoaglandia Open 15%